I'm sitting on the steps and I was stopping you. For what? Touch me. Oh, what the fuck? Hey, yo, what the fuck, yo? I got all that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
In America, there's a gang more widespread than the Bloods, the Crips, MS-13, and every other gang combined. This gang is in every town, armed and unchecked. They're in every neighborhood, every city, every state, and always ready. This gang is the police. Today, we'll reveal why they're untouchable. When citizens have their rights violated by police, they are within their right to file charges. However, the system has become so complicated that it's nearly impossible to get justice. There is a maze of processes and procedures that must be followed, a labyrinth of laws and regulations that make it difficult for a regular person to file charges against the police. This system works in favor of the police and is impossible to change. A successful police lawsuit requires the skills of an experienced civil rights attorney. Although the payoff can be great, the funds required to sue the police often exceed what a normal person can afford. So lawyers must take on cases with little money up front. With the lack of financial incentives and the insurmountable barriers that are in place, many attorneys will shy away from civil rights lawsuits filed against the police. Imagine facing a situation where a police officer has violated your rights. You want justice, but you hit a brick wall. Qualified immunity. This acts like a shield, protecting cops from being held liable, even when they've done something clearly wrong. Qualified immunity was created to protect officers from frivolous lawsuits. It's evolved into a barrier that makes it impossible for victims of police misconduct to get justice. Victims of the police must prove an officer violated a clearly established right. This right must be so well defined that an almost identical case has to exist. The court must have ruled on a similar situation before, or else the officer will walk free. It's a get-out-of-jail-free card for police officers. The courtroom is supposed to be a place where justice is blind, but what happens when the scales of justice are tipped, not by evidence or law, but by manipulation and bias? When it comes to cases against the police, the courtroom has become a battleground where justice is often nowhere to be found. Jury manipulation is an insidious tactic used to ensure police officers walk free. Prosecutors and defense attorneys select jurors who are more likely to sympathize with law enforcement or are fearful of challenging authority. Judges, too, often show clear bias in favor of law enforcement. They control what evidence is admissible and guide interpretation of the law. For victims of police brutality, the courtroom is not a place of justice. It's a place where they are re-victimized. When a police lawsuit is successful and damages are awarded, you might think justice has been served. But here's the shocking truth. Cops don't pay a single cent out of their own pockets. Instead, it's you and me, the taxpayers, who foot the bill. When police officers are held accountable in court, the money comes from local governments, funded by tax dollars. While police walk away unscathed, the financial burden falls squarely on the community. The next time you hear about a big payout in a police misconduct case, remember it's not the cops who paid the price. It was you. Are cops truly untouchable? They operate with a level of protection that most of us can only dream of. Shielded by laws, supported by biased systems, and never feeling the sting of financial repercussions. How is this justice? But the real question is, if those sworn to protect us can't be held accountable, where does that leave us?